Alright guys, I just want to show what I'm working on. The CNC machine is about to get its front door put on, and I'm going to need my webcam set up inside. So I've been working on this webcam setup. So this webcam gets glued to here, to this base right here. So yeah, that goes right there. So now these motors, so it's going to get mounted to the wall with magnets on a piece of metal, so it can tilt up and down and left and right from this motor. So that gives me my look around with the webcam. And then I'm just going to have like a strip of steel glued to the wall, and I'm going to put some really strong neodymium magnets. That way, if I'm working on if I'm using this this big vise, the workpiece is going to sit up higher, so I can just move this with the magnets to a higher spot, and have it at the right height without having to make a whole motor control system for the height. I'm just going to have it's going to tilt up and down and look left and right, and that's going to be controlled by this. This is a Bluetooth wireless cheapy controller. So I'm going to have two of these. I'm going to have two webcams, and each is going to have this system on it. And these are just, if I pull this out, these are just cheap stepper motors, and they fit right into here. So yeah, that's how I'm going to have this these cameras moving, and I'm going to move it with this. And this is the receiver for that. This is the receiver that came with it. And that's going to go to, these wires out of the way, my microcontroller. And then these are the motor drivers. So I still got like, well, you see how far I've got. All of these gets a wire. And then all the left sides of these gets a wire to this. And so, yeah, there's a lot of wires to put in, but this is going to control, because these stepper motors, they each get one of these that plug into there. So I'm just going to write the code to be able to move to read what this wireless remote says, and then convert it to the motions for the camera control. But yeah, this goes into a little slot in here. But yeah, I'm going to make two of those, two webcams, control the rotation and the tilt up and down. And it's going to be controlled by this wireless remote. So I'm going to have one camera on this joystick, another camera on this joystick, and I haven't decided which one yet, but I'm going to designate one of these buttons as an emergency stop button. But I want it to be a button that's not easy to accidentally hit, so I'm not going to use these. Probably one of these buttons here is going to be emergency stop, because I got this emergency stop button, but it's going to be actually on the machine somewhere or by the door or something. So I'm going to have a second emergency stop on my webcam controller. So okay, well, here's my computer screen, and if I turn right in back of me is the CNC machine. So I'm going to be watching on this computer screen the video feed from the webcams. And that way I can just, if I want to adjust it, I can just go like that, and if I need to emergency stop, I just hit the button. So I'll be, that way I could be working on this computer on something. I'm always working on something. So whether I'm just watching a video on learning something on a video or watching a funny video, or if I'm actually designing stuff or whatever I'm doing, I'm always doing something. So, or I could just be working at my little table here, and I can keep an eye on the CNC machine and adjust the cameras from this wirelessly. It'll be pretty neat. I just gotta finish up this circuit. Bunch of little wires, strip the ends of the wires, solder them all together. It's a long drawn out process, but it's actually a slightly faster than just making chemically etching the circuit board out. And because of my flood coolant pump, and I put on this old computer speaker, I'm going to be getting the 5-volt power from this, and I'm running a wire for the power to the webcam movement things, motors and stuff, because they run off of 5 volts, but they use 4 of them is probably going to use at least an amp or two, and so yeah, the power will be going to this connection here. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. I'll have remote control cameras, webcams inside of there, and my front cover and door to the CNC machine will not have a window. Now, another thing I was going to do is I got this clear Lexan. It's clear as glass, Lexan. So I'm going to make a little shields for these cameras so they don't get splashed by the coolant. And if it becomes an issue, I might even make little windshield wipers for them too. I don't know. So yeah, that's just the camera setup I'm working on. These motor controllers came on these little super crappy Chinese circuit boards, and I kept having problems with pulling the pads off of where they go. So I'm like, screw it. I just took the chip off and I removed the connectors, and I'm putting them on my own circuit board. Alright, that's what I'm working on. Later.